Hi, this is Dave from Geekanoids.co.uk. I'm happy to bring you my coverage of Apple's It's Only Rock and Roll event that's taking place in San Francisco today. The first fantastic news to come out of Apple's event is that Steve Jobs took to the stage to a massive applause. Everyone was so pleased to see him back, and I'd like to personally say welcome back to Steve. Steve's first announcement was the iPhone 3.1 software, more on that later on. We do know, however, that it's free for both iPhone and iPod Touch users. This was quickly followed by ringtones, 30,000 of them now available in the iTunes store at $1.29, which will probably equate to around about 99 pence in the UK store. iTunes next, and you can now manage your iPhone and iPod Touch apps right within iTunes, so you can get everything nice and organised screen by screen before syncing that arrangement to your device. Genius Mixes was also introduced, and it's sort of like a virtual DJ which mixes relevant songs into arrangements that it thinks will go together. Next up was home sharing, which is very easy to set up and allows up to 5 computers to actually copy songs and TV shows between libraries for easy viewing around your house. Next up, Phil Schiller took to the stage to talk about games. Big news here is that we will now get major software titles on the App Store on exactly the same day that they're released on the other consoles. This is fantastic news. Some cool game announcements followed, including Riddim Ribbon, where you race down a ribbon staying on the groove to keep your tunes playing. It really sounds like an excellent game. Next up was Nova from Gameloft, and it looks absolutely fantastic and very, very similar in fact to Halo. I'm certainly interested in giving this one a play myself. Now Apple moved on quickly to some iPod news that we've all been waiting for. Good news is the iPod Classic stays, same price, same colour, but back up to 160 gigabytes. This is great news. There's also new iPod Shuffle colours and new headphone options, with the Shuffle coming in at $59 for a 2GB version, $79 for 4GB, plus there's a special polished steel version of the 4GB model coming in at $99. There's a new iPod Touch lineup. The new 8GB entry level runs at the standard speed that we're used to now, but we've got faster 32GB and 64GB versions which get the same speed bump that the iPhone 3GS got. So the higher capacity versions will run 50% faster, and that'll mean better gaming on these devices. Steve Jobs then came back on stage to announce his one more thing. And the big news to come out of Apple's event is there is now a video camera and mic on the iPod Nano. You get a speaker too, plus an FM radio. 8GB version of the Nano is going to cost you $149, and a 16GB version is going to cost you $179. And they're all available on the Apple Store online today. Well, that's all of the announcements we got from Apple today. The sad news is that we didn't see the video camera and recording capability introduced onto the iPod Touch, and we of course didn't see the new Apple tablet computer either. So hopefully we'll see those later this year, or certainly sometime during 2010. Thanks very much for listening. Come back soon and check out more news on geekanoids.co.uk.